Daddy. That Shiny Dinju said the Shiny Dinju, the Sambe Dinju, Chue Dinju. That Tambula Zawa Devajans, Gertin Chus, Gruba Jebas, or the teacher. That Shiny Dinju said, Shiny Dinju said, Shiny Dinju de Jidajana Sanjegus, Suncham, Karasure. Sanjum de Degi, any Sumba Imbere, Shiny Dinju said, Kararesana. Not Karasure, Yangali Deva or to any loving Susu Peggy in Sumbri, any loving Sus Peradis and any Nayimba Shepherd Joguris. Sanjay Yangali dead in it, Simjag to Jiagachido. Taya Kung Sujaya Marba, maybe in Sanita, Yangali des, and loving Sus Yungi, and it to do Nayim, but Shebachi, she is Sumbris.
Now we are at the actual practice on how to rely on the teacher through our inner thoughts and inner deeds, and for this, like if we reference this point of, if we reference this particular practice, then initially it was taught by a Buddha Shakyamuni, and before he he went through the pre-nirvana, and he mentioned, he taught to the disciple that in future I will come in the form of a teacher, ordinary teacher, and that time remember the instructions how to rely on to your teachers in your thoughts and in your deeds. So such teachings still in the sutra aspect.
Oh, that is it. That is Sunguya de Carrera Senata, Maupana Chi Simjel Chi Kanga number 10 Simjel Twitch Chodo Goni. That the Chudenge Digi. That Maupana Guzichiati. And it should think you did Guzi Chimbuchi, but dear Kingiari. That just any not shooting you loving Susu Yungi, Sudizamba. That the Gachimbucheni Jiggy shooting yegi G shooting you did a Guzi Chimbuchi. Mikangalogi, shooting it to the Guzi Chimbuchi. Chigi Santa di Ani di Guzi Yabuchi Yagichido. Angadi Logus Peggy soon be
Yes. So the reason why Buddha gave such instruction at that point of time, because Buddha know that in order to benefit more sentient beings in the future, it is because the needs of the diverse sentient beings, and to fulfill those diverse needs, but they can manifest in terms of a different beings in order to fulfill the diverse needs of the sentient beings. So at the same time, it is important to venerate its teachings. It's important to venerate the teachers, and in the so that is a crucial point why why Buddha gave such teachings, because it's a highly important to venerate the spiritual mentors to venerate its teachings.
Tene ti karere seneta sangye ge chigi chelap tin juya la sangye ge chula lobchon chego yare sangye ge chelap ti jubala sangye ge chegi thosamche tan tambu sangye ge chu ti thobache sambache tinde chebala tene ne sangye ge chelap ti jugu ge yare ti jugu ge yesaneta Sanjani Yangali Detsare, Jesanta Sanji Malamduna Shabe Chudi, Sunye Chukuyari. Ani Sunye Chikuyu by Yasan, Ti Sunye Tire, Anichi Rangi, Chunyan Baticena, Sushin to Yakuyu Baritati Kanje. Ti gugi san ta ti chedo che ti chuishin du yin ge chedo ani ta tin de xin yi tin ju se ti ta chia ge chedo tini sanje ge tele gong ne ta kare sanje ge ti nam du ti ten go ya kare se ne ani sanje ge jinlab ti sanje ne shu ya mare ta sanje ge jinlab ti ni ju gu ya re gan du kamal ta jinlab te kende sun ju gu ya re se ne che sun ne ti nyam ne che ne ju gu ya re ti ne che sun ne nyam ne che ne ju gu ba yin se ne chu sun ye de le yang ji kare su re gu ji den den bar bi gu gu ya re ti che tu ta ti che ba re.
So, in order to receive the blessing from Buddha's teaching, one need to study the Buddha's teaching. And in order to study the Buddha's teaching, one need a spiritual mentor or spiritual teacher. And cultivating a genuine sense of reference to that teaching is the supreme way to receive the blessings and being able to understand its teachings. And therefore, like Buddha emphasized in terms of the importance of the importance of a spiritual teacher or spiritual mentors. Another point, in other perspective, we can also look at the different perspective by in future, like the Buddha Shakyamuni's physical bodies, it's not a presence with us, and in order to sustain Buddha's teaching, it is really important to this sustenance really comes from upholding its teachings. And in order to uphold the Buddha's teaching, there must be continuum of the practitioners. So again, to have this continuum of practitioners, it really comes through a teacher passed down to the student, and student passed down to its successive students. So in this manner, Buddha's teaching can sustain and benefit for infinite sentient beings. And in order to have that, to have a genuine sense of reverence and respect to the holder of teaching is crucial.
문제 나 취님버디 전에 지단 전에 니 지지 취니 취마 숭예들라니 덤베 뒤시게니 니구구야리 디체도 다 딘데 숭구야리 디 덤베 아디 치는 용구인세야디 숭야디 아니 디 Tumbe dushi shani chebe in the Rana Kipsan Yubre. Any dushi shasati that the church in dushi jabarete, and it is in any Tumbalaya David Gigiari. Gigi Tumbalaya Jinjo Chia, the Tumbala Devaki. Tumbe Kadinti Yagichito, that Tumbe dushi of Chane in Yinkugiari.
Now, with this, in general speaking, the mode of conduct that we need to adopt, particularly for the listeners, Dharma listeners, it's important to adopt the conduct that regarding the teacher as a Buddha Shakyamuni himself. So if one adopts such a conduct, such an attitude, or towards one's teacher as a Buddha Shakyamuni, then the student or the listener will receive its a benefit. It's that listener's own benefit. It's listener's own sake of benefit. So it's important to regard, to have such a mental attitude towards the teacher, regarding the teacher as a living a Buddha.
Oh, dine jida chene ni sanje ge sung yarete semje thamjela tumbe dushi shakwe sumbre ani choksungi dabuti ani semje thamjela ani tumbe dushi gigi yus dushi shagi yus sumbre karesene tumbe dushi shabe ne kepsan misho jung mebre ani karesene ani tumbe dushi shabe ne ran kepsan chembura yare kyu thambar chiliye tumbe dushi shabe ne kola deni nyeju mambuchi ka thu yare ani nyeju mambuchi ka ba mase ani tambaleya jinjo jebar jin rugu yarba tiche du sonam mambuchi sagi yare nyeju mambuchi tongi yare chida chue tinya le tumbe dushi ke ko ba mase semje thamjala ya tumbe dushi ke jigi yusumbre.
So
Jampa di choksungi dabuguye tindisumbre tindoenali yare.
Yes. So in one sutra, one arahant, he mentioned in one sutra that for him, he not only regard his teacher as a Buddha, furthermore, he also extend that attitude to all the sentient beings as a Buddha. By doing so, that's one's own beneficials, because if one regard the other sentient being as a Buddha, then having that kind of attitude, respect and reverence to the other sentient being, naturally springs within one's heart, because like who wouldn't respect to a Buddha? And also that attitude also helps to restrain any non-virtuous actions towards any other sentient beings, because because when one have such a respect and reverence towards a Buddha, then that helps to refrain from any non-virtuous actions. So with this, when one adopts such an attitude towards all sentient beings as each and every sentient being as a Buddha, then it's one's own beneficial, because it not only helps to cultivate deep devotion and venerance to the all sentient being. At the same time, it also helps to restrain one's negative actions.
Tini ngagi chene ngagi nyamshina yanali ni kana thamjel hagur tawa se cheri kana thamjel hagur tana ani tishig chopat me usagiyarba kana thamje nganandu dandeti simje thamje tembe tushi kejebro tembe tushi kejebro tinashi ani kana thamje hagur ta ngagi ne kana thamje hagur tayagi Diari Karasure Chesusum Sechiari, Kanatamjil Hagur Taya Sechi. What in the Ivayansa Odi Anidi Tinde Insan Tinish Shingi Chugula Shinila Tumbetushi Sanjig Dushi Shakus Deva Changu, the Zawa Deva Chang said, the Insa, the Chetinella di Shago, Massa, Simja Tabula, Tumbetu Shagu, Chidanchena. Ni Navi, ni Kanatam de Haguru Tawas, Hayu Kulatayagi, Yamnech Sunyari, or the Insa.
So, not only such teachings as in the sutra aspects, but also in the tantric, in the tantra teachings. So, in the tantra teachings, they put a lot of emphasis on the importance of adopting a pure vision. So pure vision, basically it means whatever we see or the Tantra practitioner sees regarding either in the form of celestial, the deity celestial mention, or the deity himself or herself. So that's a pure visions. So basically, like, it just really extends the same sentiment that, like, whatever we see regarding that either a sentient being or whosoever it is, regarding that as a holy or Buddha, right? So by doing so, it really it's one's own interest. So with this, like, it is really important for us to not just confine the idea of teacher as only a Buddha. You respect to your teacher because he or she is the Buddha. That's, one should not confine that idea only in that limits of your teacher, rather to expand same sentiment or attitude to all beings, all being as enlightened beings or Buddhas. And by expanding such an attitude, right, then it's one's own benefit, because it helps to create a condition, positive condition once within, and it helps to restrain non-virtuous actions.
That's the Tomba Katinchi said the Katichimshu in that caress and any Kurang Ellen David Jesu, any Martin data. Condition the card, Dujala Young Ellen David Jesu, Gid, 'Cause 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 Dujele Kandi Lamne Kahit to Tubu Mambu, some two Gonshinangiera. Simjeki Chi Ganese Chitu. That Tusum Shirashieni, and in Hati the Yunguins. Tati Kares in a rangi. Dujeki Chui the Yapuya Chui Yapujeniya. That Dumbe Dushikine and Dumbe Sungu Sambarabje. And Mas Chule Nyamnejiala, Tubajidu Samlutanda, Chunyam Tubajidu Chushin Dunia. And it is Tubajamanashing Lavjeti Rangi, Sushin to Nyamsoneagi Tindigi, Kabayarba, Tambagi. Oh, Tindita, Tindigi Chetu, Tambagi, Arandu Lapjanani. Tindi Mangama Panatinde Yungins. I did chicken in Bahako Bachishus. That is Sumiati. Think around to 2 Masuni, Labjet Nangierva. Tin now we had the carrot or some tanguer around.
So, why Buddha is so, why Buddha is so important for us? Because Buddha truly loves and cares for all sentient beings unconditionally and all the times, even after passing towards Nirvana. Buddha, his love and affection, unconditional compassion towards all sentient beings remains the same. And in order to best way to help the sentient beings, Buddha demonstrated many different methods to fulfill diverse needs of the different sentient beings. And for examples, before his passing towards parinirvana, as mentioned earlier, Buddha instructed that in future I will come in the form of a ordinary teacher. So this point is important because in the future generations, from that time, from that context of the time, if for the future practitioners, for them they cannot see Buddha Shakyamuni physically, then in order to really venerate to the teaching, right? To the teaching, and in order to uphold that teaching, it's really important, it's really helpful if the students regard the teacher or the teacher as a Buddha himself. Then the effect is different. For a student, if the student really regard one's teacher as a Buddha, then whatever teacher says from in align with its teaching, then there is a greater effect for the students to understand the teaching, and it has a greater effect to uphold the teaching in terms of putting into actions. So that's the reason why. That's the one reason why Buddha gave such instructions, because in order to respect to the teachings, it's first respecting the teacher, the person who upholds this teaching, and to impart that teachings. So to have this, first step is respecting to the spiritual mentor or spiritual teacher is a crucial.
Oh, that is
So that is the important point of elaboration to the training in faith towards teacher is training in the faith. That is the point of elaborations. Training in faith, the root of the practice.
Tene kadin Jesu tene kubakeba siati nivatire. Kadin Jesu tene kubakeba siati ne kadin te kararesene chösumbe kadin tire. Ta chösumbe kadin te sangye mambuchi ni ngarandu tamngati ngus shugju chunya mare. Sangye tamne debachi Jampa yin ngaranzu chungus shusati shiyati machungurabji imbare. Dine di Jesu tomba dajagu tomba pebare. Dajagu tomba pene nganzu ngus dajagu tomba kundune chu shugju chunya mare. Kalu ngus shugju chunya mare. Tati 신이 때 다리 신이 되게 아니 지 라를 땅에서 추기 담나디 추기다 추기까지 추기까지 응어서 딘데지 추기 니야 까지 집중을 봐 어때디 인산디 까지 제수 되네서야디 다디 응어서 추니야디 다까지 집 인다데 가르스네 상게 만부 집중하래디 응어서 저기 중어서 추주 중요한 말이 인주 중요한 말이 응어서 나는들로 최소야 말이 되네 다자고 돈바 페브리 되고 줄로 충무수야 말봐 당간줄 충무수이 되다 신이 들어봐 어디에서 뒤까지 근데를 도스나 까지 아니 까지 되다 tomba sangyele kadin laga surji imbare da inya surti sangye da toba nyamba maris singit le asusuki tamme bae yungre dini palam toba yare palam matoba susuki tamme batinde yungu yare ine yata 가진데 최승배 가진데 다 산제 남말레 탐제레 사버지 임버리 가르스네 산제 탐제기 안줄로 충무승배티 다 매버제 디가와데 되어봐 어데 디인사다 최승배 가진세야데 가진데 딘데지아레 시티티네 아니 그밖에 그래 시티고 그바세야디 지단 대버럽지리 이내야 가지 제스티네 니 대버지야디 다데 딜 그버럽시
Now, so with this, if we like, how to rely on our teacher in our thoughts. So for this one, training in the faith, the root of the practice. So training in the faith really refers to cultivating a faith that your teacher as a Buddha. So that's important, and we have elaborated on this part. And next step is remembering your teacher's kindness and developing respect. So now in general speaking, like Buddhist Munis, we don't have that. We are not that fortunate enough to receive the teaching from Buddha Shakyamuni himself at that point of time, right? We were not born, and so in other words, we have not received. And again, in a bigger picture, in the Buddhist cosmology, it mentioned that thousands, many, right? Actually, Buddhas appeared in our world, but we have not received teaching. We have not met any of those Buddhas, right? However, we are lucky that because of the kindness of our teacher, we can still receive the teaching, Buddha's teaching. Therefore, our teacher is extremely kind for us. Why? Because of that teacher's kindness, we are receiving the teachings. Yes, Buddhas are Buddha have the countless of supreme qualities, and they have all the realizations. And comparing Buddha's realization and my teacher's realization, my teacher's realization is not equal, of course, not equal to Buddha's realizations. However, in terms of the kindness, my teacher's kindness is far more greater than the Buddha, because because of my teacher, I'm able to receive all those teachings. Now, speaking of my own teacher, there could be a different levels of teachers, right? Very ordinary teacher, very ordinary person as a person, as a human being, and some teacher may have some higher realizations on the path. Some could be Arya beings, but no one can equal to the Buddha's realizations, right? Buddha has supreme realizations. However, irrespective of the realizations of my teacher, the most important thing is to, because of that teacher's kindness, I'm able to receive Buddha's teaching. Therefore, with remembering those points, it's important to cultivate a genuine sense of respect and reverence to that teachings, or to that teacher. That's the point.
Oh, that's anti-charisne, yes, only drag tapte, Nicoale drag tapte, and it's Sanji Jukovan drag tapten barba, tapten by Insan, Nicotines, but to sustain it, teachiati, deguchiati.
So, in order to further enhance one's reverence and respect to the teacher, thinking on the points that because of the teacher's kindness, he or she showed me the path that helps me to not to fall to three low migrations. Because of that teacher's kindness, has shown me the path to how to liberate from a samsara, and because of the kindness of that teacher, show me the path to achieve the complete enlightenments. So remembering those points, the more we think on those points, it helps to re-strengthen and re-enhance our gratitude and respect towards our teachers.
Datine joy tenju sechare. Joy tenju sechate rangi maasung shabe chue tiki nyamne chiyate tsote joy tenju sechate. Ni sung shabe chue ti rana tipa chigyu ya mari gyawa chiguri se chevarabachina. Ani tiba ponga dupu chinju ne ponga dupu gyawa chinju ne dupu kandu duyachi chebati ta joye tenju sine 가르쳐 그래. 제바디 아니 조회된 주식을 다 뒤가 이제 가신도 주에 쳐봤어야 돼. 다디 디바치 교야 말이스. 디바체는 내순디기 그리스. 교와 두부리스. 교와 두수는 아니 대주고반라 두부리스. 다디 람데 넘버에 넘버 나신이니 수수 디바 참무춘 이제 방 교와 참무춘 이제 두버디 두스나 다디 디 가르쳐 그래 조회된 주시도 아니 예배 쳐바래 쳐바 어디 쳐바기 나니 쳐바 쳐도 그바디 댄샤발 디 지교야 말이야디 간두 지두기 냠내 쳐바디 다디 디리 조회된 주시야디 가신도 주에 쳐봤어야 돼. 쳐봐줘야 되지. 쳐봐줘야 돼. 쳐봐나기 다 쳐도 그거지. 숨바나 시제 냠내 줘야 돼. 간두지도 냠내 줘야 돼. 나 쳐봐 쳐들이 돼. 줘야 된 주도 와들이. 다들이.
How to rely on the spiritual teacher indeed. So indeed the best way to uphold this is to implementing the teacher's advice, such as upholding as much as all the wholesome deeds or the virtuous deeds, and as best as you can to eliminate or to reduce the non-virtuous deeds or unwholesome deeds. So that is the best way to demonstrate one's own respect towards a teacher by doing those actions. And furthermore, in terms of making offerings as a gesture to express your gratitude to the teacher, the best way you can make the offering is upholding the teaching, cultivating the virtuous deeds, and restraining from the non-virtuous deeds, and putting into the actions, putting the teacher's teaching into action is the greatest gift that the student can present to their teachers.
다티네 신이 딘주세야디 신이 딘주세야디 송아리 제산 다티 신이 딘주 송아제 다티네 무시 다티네 마디바르 디 대남 나라제네 다티 신이 딘주 데디 별로 튠점 그세야디 니 튠점 그냥 좀 뭐야랬다 또 수시에 먹었지 다티네 대존이가 예 대존이가 왔다 되쳐와 삼바세드리스.
So with this we have briefly covered on the chapter on Guru devotion. Now in essence, Guru devotion, how to train your teacher in our thoughts and in our deeds, right? Now, so we have briefly covered this chapter, and according to the Easy Path text itself, there is this more instruction in terms of what to do in actual meditation sessions. So we will not cover those points because you all have the text, right? Now, so if we move to the next point, so next point is precious human body endowed with leisure and fortunes.
다들에 대람데 나기 나데 대화 인선에 duty bebjanche yari tene shingi tenju khatuli ya duty bebjanche shingi tenju samlu tangi ne made kontu duty bebjanche duty nanga reseti jeba 중 아니 도면에서 베티도 탑제자 아니 개바도야 아니 신이 된줄 신이 된줄이 지 템발에 계지기 때문에 아니 장 아니 신이 추이신 집에 또 박혀바지 개베 매바지야지 다티 심먹었 당고야 돼
레세
다티네 tenjoni gas tanzi ranzu de tenjoni gas de tangan susu top de chugi nyamne chi jiage tendi dande de tendle da tenjorusigi tenjorgi tense dawa sia de mekumbe negele jawa insa dawa sia de da tenjor 니가 둔치와 삼바집에 임바 댄줄 니가 댄줄 둔지 니가 삼바집에 임바 당연하지 추냠내기 지역 류덴티 시게레 다 류덴티 다리 미쇼지기 딘데 류덴티 다 류덴티 바 톰마뉴가르 지토바 임바레 류덴티 가르레스나 녀수숨을 깨베이나 추니야야 말이 추니야기 깨워도 대차를 임버리 녀수숨도 깨나 근데 엄부 마창하러 붙든지 유타고를 붙든지 아니 라로를 붙든지 깨베이나 상계 마주베 신 동반이 딘데 깨베이나 저 두비암 잔이 매베인 버리 당은주 냐이다 돈줄레 깨야 말이 네 엄부 마차원이 말이 엄부는 찬디야리 네 유타고도니 깨야 말이 상계 매베 신 동반이도 마주베 동반 신 동반이도 깨바디 대 말이다 하지 오래 하지리 문납수 대 깨바 말이 대수 깨바이나 추 주비야 매버리 추 주비야 그거 대비 버리 당연한 주디니 대화 계세야디 어디 되지리.
So since this text, the easy path is in conjunction with the tantric aspects of the path, tantric aspects of the teachings. Therefore, many of those at the each of every chapter there is this practice of visualizing nectalar light, rely on the practice of nectalar light, purifying and receiving the blessings. This is a integrated part of the practice, and it's mentioned in the text and also mentioned in the, I think, in the last class too. So we will not today go through all those things. Now, so this is the we have briefly finished the chapter on Guru devotion. So the next chapter is precious human body. So now that's the title of the next is the precious human rebirth. Precious human rebirth. So now in this chapter, really emphasize on the importance of this precious human body that we have now, which are the precious human body that we have has some amazing qualities, such as, like, in briefly it says it has this qualities of leisure and fortunes. So briefly it refers to we should feel so immensely happy, not take it granted, rather feel so fortunate that we were not born in any of the three lower migrations. We were not born as devas, right? We have no time to study the Dharma, because they're totally intoxicated in the bliss, and we were not born as a handicap, right? Either physically and mentally. Because if we do so, then it's a big challenge for us to study the Dharma. If, for example, if we're mentally handicapped, then it's very difficult to understand and uphold the Dharma. And we were also like not born in a place where there is no access to the Dharma teaching at all, right? So therefore, not taking grantedly as a human what we are now, rather appreciating immensely that how fortunate I am to have such a body that I have, such a as this precious human. So considering oneself as immensely precious because I have all those qualities.
That thing, that Jampa choose that to suit. She Mengobecha Nananzu that Ludenti, Tanda Top de Ludenti. Ludenti Shinduneta Chimboche. Ludenti Tela Chokari Chigine Chetunich. Susi Machev de Mesho Chigina. Ane Chigi Pabalam Jumba Signature. Pabalam Jumba Seati Ombu Shindu Nubo. Tubu. Tindeche Chigi Dentilla Chigi Kurangi Tajume Koban Toba Imbari. Ombushin Dubu Imbari. Duban Tibapang Seati Mananzu Sema Shimbachin Mambu Goyad Tinde Mashimbal Goni Tinde Chebi Imbari. Ani Tinde Chigi Tinde Yine Ombushin Dubu Tinde Yine Ludenti Dilla Tajume Koban Toba Tinde Yari. Ya Loshin to Gabutinde Ani Chigi Chole Juni Ani Chigi Tajume Koban Toba Tinde Jumi Imbari. Odi Sani Mananzu Lochimbo Yinsi Yine Susutubna that Selama Yovati Chi Church to win Ani Gange Chambajile Taratuyari Ombutubine Chirangi Church Trubuna Ani Chi Tungele Triagi Tabet Tobati Day Yungui. What is an Enganaju 10 10 Chemaje, which you measure China and Kanga Chiayari.
Now, traditionally, like we call this body that we have is immensely precious because it has the quality of leisure, 8 leisures, and the 10 fortunes. So we will not go through with those 8 leisures and the 10 fortunes. But basically, what it really says, what's the underlying message? Underlying message of those 18 quality is this precious body that we have immensely precious because if one truly sees that opportunity that what we have now can accomplish anything that one desires. For examples, during a Buddhist time, there was a one practitioner called like Lamjungpa. That's called now we call Pakpa Lamjungpa. Before he became this person, Lamjungpa, he born as a very low intellect, a person who cannot memorize the 2 syllables, very low intelligence, right? But gradually putting the hard work and appreciating, right? He achieves the arihut. There was he achieved the arihut, and there's another person who entered in the Buddhist teaching at very late age, when he reached like a very old, right? But the point here is there is no how do you say, it's never too late to start the Buddhist teaching, right? A person who that's a person who entered at a very old age, but because just like the previous, he realized how the precious human body that he have now, right? And utilize it and achieves the Arihut. So that is the really that is the essence, underlying message that if a Lamjungpa, if he can achieve the Arihut, everybody can achieve. Because that person cannot memorize only 2 syllables, right? But if such person can achieve, then we would all, if we really put our focus, right? So it's really underlying message is truly appreciating the preciousness of our own existence, of our own human state, right? That's the underlying message here.
That is Dendileti Dibachambo Magita Kebu Magita Siatita. Ani Kebu Teche Singer. Ani Kebu Kangta Kebu Kangta Signete. Mikubja Kugus Severba, Senor Gierba. What do so? Dibachimbu Jabatuso Tindegi. Dansan the top there, Khensur. Dansan the top there, San Diden, Jig Debachimbuchene, Ani Majit Geba Majita to Sur, Ani Debachimbutile Tani, Ani Tabari, Ani Gebu de chasing it, Masse. Gebu Gandas in it, Mikujaku, Mabuch Severi, Debachimbuchene. Dendile Tajumba Kumatovere. What is any 120 high dare of never in the Dendile Dindes Tajumba Kumatose, Dinde Yamari. And so merely gave me Denju Church of the Dindich gave a diggy. Dine Hindu Bell Lochimbuine. Hindu Umbu Dubine, Hindu Dibachimbu Dindi Jabadindini. Aniji quality the Taj Dibatustan, Tajumikubatuyas, Dindi Mambu Yuvari, or the Yuvayansanete Didigi Den Santigunzu Nietiaris.
So so it's really helpful for us to take inspirations from the previous masters, right? So, a person who have very low intellect, right? Or how you say IQ or intellect, whatever you call it. But if such person achieves the Arihut, then there's no difference in terms of the age, right? And there's no difference in terms of your past. It could be a very sinful past, but even in the past, King Mageda is a very sinful person. He killed his father. There's another king who killed his mother, and the Kangta, he killed 999 people. So very sinful persons. All of those removes their actions and then uphold the teaching and realizing how precious they are. So all of those achieves Aryahood. So if we look at all those people, there's a one common theme. All of those are human beings, just like ourselves, right? And another common theme is they really just utilize this precious human being. They have not wasted at the point where they have truly gained that realization. recognizing how precious they are, what they can really do. From that point onwards, they have not raised that the condition that we have, rather fully utilize it. If we do so in that manner, we too can achieve such realizations.
Dine haranju ten sandi jitu milarebati tambu godu de tibu mambusa shibu mambusa ba imbre tibu mambusa yare dine sabre de ten tilinyamne jeni sanju jukuma thobarwa jasa ten tilpe dine ten de gonju jitu milat ki thoyagi tenji yaraba dine ten de gonju thobde yare Dine sani ten sambu pe man si sambu. O tanji, o dusu yarba, o dindegi ten sanji yare. Di duen chimbu shida dhru tunye. Nge sunle tar tunye. Kuwa le dhru tunye mambu chungsu nga. Ani dine taba tunye mambu chungsu nga. Diye umbu shindu nubu, lo beje gabu. Dine diba chimbu. Ta diba chimbu jeni, ani sanji jukubatu, sanji jizu mila reba junsunga. Oda dinde yibaris.
So another example like a Milarepa, one of the greatest yogi, right? So if you look at his life, earlier part of his life, he is very sinful. He killed many people by relying on the black sorceries, right? Black magics. And he committed in many sinful actions. But later, truly realizing he's being too remorseful on his actions, and then utilizing these precious human bodies, then he achieves the complete enlightenment. So therefore, for us, really important for us to think, it's really important to think that Milarepa's body, precious human body, is no difference at all what we have now. Right? It's really important. It's really important to feel it in our heart that how precious each and every one of us. And it's immensely sad to waste that what we have now. We cannot afford to waste the precious human body that we have now. Furthermore, if we utilize this precious human body, it can be utilized in the most meaningful way, just like those past masters, right? Who, if we utilize this body, we can utilize in a way that not to fall to low migration, or to be emancipated from samsara, or we can even to utilize the most optimal way to utilize to achieve the complete enlightenment. Right? So therefore, feel it in our heart that this precious human body that we have now is extremely precious, and we cannot afford to waste it. Rather, to optimize the utilization of the precious human body that we have now for the sake of all beings. This is an important underlying message on this chapter.
That is danger. Don't show the Johnson danger dividend. Danger said, don't show us at it. Then you share some of that don't you do some. That day, that near Gawa said, that in it, danger dance at the Nandu top the bay, dance Sandy, near Kabush Wimbre. Darian and the legend of Chinia Wimbre. And it in the Yanni and to Nigreves and Yana into Ni Kabimbre. The guys in it, Daring never did, Cell Hamad, the Beju Yapuchi, and it didn't take it dance at the Gyumed to Yene. 대화네 대화 된루네 된루리게야 진구야래 디마제베제네 단제 대산디 녀바딜 배주디 랑기 가요진용기지 chöji majena antine ti shosone tini shumati tinde yunguri besene te yose mebre chutu seti meberba nyawali kesune chutu se meba yidali kene tu se meba dunduli kene tu se meba te ya tada meba surjiri mere ani sajiri bunam su tinde kena tada mebre tini chöli loda chen tinde kesune ani maupana chutu se merde chutu se yamarba jal loda ken ke chutu ya dungu yamarde ne maupane se jumala tinde tendu tensa rimbashin ndo yagit ti kugab ti tevreba
So now it's really important to think that like how rare it is to have such a precious human body, right? So if we like how to say, if we are not so focused, not so appreciative about who we are now, and in a mundane way we waste our life, and also hoping that I will have human being next life, then just because we have now doesn't mean we have all this time. It's so immensely sad if we waste this precious human body, because like it's like a cause and condition. To have such a human body, one must fulfill its causes and conditions, right? If we waste it in a way that, if we waste it refers to if we are not cultivating a similar causes and conditions, at least, then how would we hope to have again precious human body? That's not possible. Therefore, it is really important for us to really think that what we have now it's extremely rare, as if we hit the jackpot, right? We have now once. We have just only one chance. We have one. This is our only chance. Therefore, really focus. It's so focus not to waste this, rather to uphold, rather to take most essence out of this. If we do so from this onwards, then in a way we are cultivating a similar cause to have at least a precious human body, at least, right? And for more, we can achieve, as mentioned earlier, all the meaningful results. So at least we are accumulating the similar causes and conditions. So now it is really important to really feel that how rare it is how rare it is to have a human existence. So if we think on like just lower migrations, then there's no way that beings in lower migrations can study the Dharma teachings. And even for if we born in a place where there's no access to Dharma teaching, or like the mental attitude is very mental attitude, it's very very adverse mental attitude in terms of the virtuous and the non-virtuous, then it's also difficult to uphold the Buddha's teaching. So therefore, to feel it in a heart, that first acknowledge how rare it is to have a precious human body, and then cultivating determinations to utilize in a most meaningful way is a crucial.
Te chesan dati den shindu nye kabu den chimbu tunye shindu nye kabu de re dati nye kabu insan ta nye kabu res de yaya nye ya di ya mari chevrba ta yaya di dinde ki denjo di yaya nye ya chi to kar chegu ya resene tini chö singe di chegu ya re tanda denjo di dan chungbo gi chi ani densanji duya kar chegu re ta tu de ben di ya me very ta chö singe di chegu ya re
So to have a similar rebirth in the future, one must create causes and conditions, right? And how to create causes and condition is to study and upholding the Buddhist teachings.
Dani chösinye tu susu machena sanje gunguzu ya shaya ke mebre. Sanje gunguzu ya shaya yun nyama ngamane sanje mambu chun tsare sanje tu suge nganzu kanga ya shagire ba. Di tandapato nganzu le debe di ngaranzu chö machebi jene le bare. Ji sanje ji shenda ji ya geya yun sanje mambu pe bare. Sanje tu zawa chimbu yare Jampa nyingji xiawang jirba o yin san nganzu ma gyoba ji xiagu marba nganzu de gyobya gu nuba yue shindu tini ma gyoba ji xia xiagu marba dunga gi jazun ma xia xiagu marba di meba yin san ti ta rangi ma zhuba digi lembarba di yin san
So now, in terms of creating conditions to overcome from suffering and creating conditions to experience lasting happiness, it's really up to us. And no one else can change that. If even not for a Buddha, if Buddha can really help us to emancipate from suffering, then Buddha would have done that long time ago, because Buddha's compassion is unparalleled, right? Buddha cannot do this. What Buddha can do is only show us the path. Whether to walk on that path or not is up to us. And since we do not desire to have suffering and aspire to have happiness, therefore it is our own responsibility to create a condition ourselves to overcome from the sufferings and creating a condition that can last happiness. And that job is our own responsibility, and we must fulfill that task.
Dene da chö jobsya di chö de kare dugure sene sem sambuti cheya deris kare sene ji kange kangalo sem ngemba de sugiyare digi kangalo de sem sambuti duguyare ta ke digi ke zawa sem lo tu seya de dire ane sem sambu me majunge onge dine ngaranzu lo kange mambu cheya de sem nyembadi ongi cheshaba janja imbari rana digi junyadi sem sambudi dubshaba imbari jasa da chu je se de chu de karache gure se sem sambu je de che gu yaris.
So how to uphold the Buddha's teachings? So how to uphold its teachings, right? So what are the nuts and bolts to uphold is teaching in order to not to waste this, right? So now, being kind and creating a condition where you can be very kind person, very warm-hearted person, is the way to is the way to uphold the teaching, because the essence of those teaching is to be more compassionate persons. So compassionate person is really like, it just begins with the being more kind-hearted human being, right? Never lose the sense of being a human, right? And to relate each other on the basis as a human, affectionate heart, right? Kind heart. And that is a crucial point where we can truly exercise as upholding the teaching, because if we cultivated the actions as a kind person, then it create a similar effect to oneself and to others.
That is some sambasya the candidate and shengi titula samdanya chile. Some sambusiari. Pena Pamani Butigi Pulaya Kandich Samlu Kandich Kuyere Putikangale Trina Sambata Pula Tigi Juna Sambarati Tabarishiari Narandula Tinashi Simja Kangolo Lichi Tigi Tindena Sambarate Kangete Tena Sambarbichi Shengi Tigi Sam Tanya Chile Tini Sem Sambusigiari.
So, what we really mean by kind-hearted person, right? Kind-hearted person here really means having a thought of caring for the interests of other people, right? If like to have a thought, or like, so how to say, like we should be mindful in terms of respecting the interests of others. That is the way of being more kind-hearted. So here traditionally explained as just like a parents, right, who always mindful about the well-being of their children. They always think good. They always think like the well-being of their children's, right? Like they always have this positive and warmth towards their children. So in a similar manner, we should always have that kind of attitude, positivity, to have a positive encounter, positive feelings towards the others, and the warmth and the affections towards others. So that's what we meant by kind-hearted.
Oh, there's the Pamani Butigi Kange Kale Shibutagi, Kale Shibutata, Bui Chetu, Bui Kange Seata, Bui Devatriax, Buti Kange Chi Yapun Yak Samlutanja, Butilik Kangamate Yak Samli Janja Chitani, Ranga Kange Shiras, Sangmari, Pamani Butigi. Ran Kange Kachinichi, Pui Tiki Chit, Putile, Lamsam Puti, Kange the Tenichi Mars, Dawati Koyapuchuna, somebody Mambu Yarava, or dinner sheet at 30 days ago at Deji at the dinner sheet in it, that seems just Shanangugi, some Tangu, Tilichilla. Buddhi digi juna chimaru nyambarabitili chambasiari. Buddhi gange the trends chimaru sambarabit, some tada yerba till ninji sigari. That dinner she simja kangalola samluti tanguari. Till it dance in that choose a chugnane chuyasho did rigari.
So if we think in this scenario, ideal parents, for ideal parents, their way of upbringing the children is fully focused on the well-being of its well-being of the child or the children, right? And all the actions towards of upbringing is really like for the interest of that a child or children. In a similar manner, we should have that attitude towards all beings. Just like a parents always wants to see happiness in their children, right? And parents always the parent always do not want to see is the suffering to their children, right? So in a similar manner, we should also has to adopt a similar attitude to all the people, all the beings, whoever we relate to always try to see the positivity of the others, right? And to aspire and to wish them they always abide in a state of happiness. That is the loving kindness. And wanting to remove their sufferings, may they free from their sufferings, is the compassion. Therefore, if one adopts that kind of outlook, that kind of worldview, that kind of perspective in our life, daily life, and then you yourself or ourselves are creating a warm-hearted, warmth in the heart. So we are truly trying to be a kind-hearted person.
That is ran legal chine simjeg digi chitu simjeg gange se chitu simjeg dewat yag chitu duye sambarje legal chine di leg chia di simje mambul pendo yungi yari simje mambu ku gange se yari this na hijeni legal chine simjeg gange se yag chitu duye samba ani simjig dewa duya chitu duye samba ye ji chobe chipini simjig dewa duya chitu simjig gange se yag chitu chöyin ga dude simjig gange se yag chitu simjig dewa duya chitu chö shuga duye samba chö shu samba 아니지 삼루치다니 똥번이 되어럽지 꿈네 심제기 대화도야다 강에서야겠지 똥번이 그 꿈삼버 장주기 셈 꿈삼버 어디 제베이는 대추 제세야 대추 어디 뒤뒤 추지기야리 제사 추세야디 삼루 캡수지기 리 제사디 나란주 미카부치니 추제 두기야리 삼루티 단 두기야리 지기 지 대바침부지 제녀도 쓰고 삼루티 단 두기야리 디단이 아니 디발레 두기야라 제상 나주 추제세야디 추제는 먼저 로직니레 돼야 매네 추제나 추 빠도매버지 추지지 추야버지 제네 전주고 섬그 소리지 공부이나 디버 빠도매버 사시베 야르데 디게디 니마치 전주고 섬 야버지 공네 디버 다야 디야리 디벌 쿨 잡대 야마르 디버 신이데 잡대 야마르 로 추버지 사샤버바 전주고 섬 신이데 쿨 잡대 야리 로체마 잡대 유바지 인산이 군이 좀 저기야 말이야 어디 인산이 어디 취재해야지 아주 가지니 취재해야리스
Yes. So with this, when one adopts such a conduct, right, such a conduct in our life, then one is truly expanding the scopes and the limits of our own capacity to uphold its teaching, right? So with this, one can really expand, like you go to work, right? 9 to 5, can I say 9 to 5? Then we can say, I'm doing this for the sake of other beings, to help, right? So whatever we do, right? So any actions we do, as long as we have this positivity in our heart and mind, and a sense of caring and respecting others. So then you go to work or you do any mundane conventional activities, as long as we are mindful on those areas, then we are truly like expanding limitless in terms of our capacity to uphold and enrich the well-beings of all, right? So then this is a true sense of the Dharma teachings. And speaking of Dharma teachings, Dharma teaching can only exercise, right? It's really like Dharma teachings can only springs from in your mind. Dharma teaching is truly like changing your perceptions of the world. You changing the priorities in our life. It really begins with our mind. So therefore, it's really important to have that positivity outlook towards all beings, right? So with this is like it's really important. Either we do a positive action or negative action. It really begins with your mind. Begins with your mind. Therefore, it's really important to choose which side. Because if we choose with the negative sides, it may appear prominent strength, stability at the initial point. Someone hurts you, you feel like it just wants to hurt back. That's sort of very pervasive, right? Just you wants to do that. But if we think more deeply, our negative actions are groundless. It is a shallow. We cannot last on the negativity. Whereas at the beginning, if we on the side of the positive, at the beginning, it can appear as a weak, not a stable, right? But gradually, you will feel it because virtuous stands on the firm foundations. Yeah, firm foundation. Therefore, even it seems like a weak and not stable, but if you put it, not let it go, don't give up, if we habituated on these actions, then you will feel the strength and the stability of the virtuous actions. So therefore, it's really important to create the positivity first in our heart and mind, right? And that is a really opening gateway towards the Dhamma practice.
다들 최스 세디 지금은 가디니 취재야 샘삼부세야 돼 가디니 구매야 돼 자상주 최세디 아니 가디니 취재야도가 사드에 제야야리 루드에 제야야리 아니 Sadini Kalas Simjagi Digi Chituni Kalasa and some Sambuchi Jigi, somebody of Jevina. Said the long jenning yet Jigi Simjel Kandu Chidugi, some Sambuchi Jigi Yamne Chiagichidu, Nessa Usam. Odi Karichine Odi Samlati Diaduga. Ji says Chudwella se Kalasa Gugere, Kala Yogu, Legala Jogugere, Legam Majuneta, Genus in Mishuji, Legal Manduni Inguyamara, Jason Dujutan by Legiati G. Simjig Digichit, says some Kalaj said Simjig Digitu Yagichit. 아니 네 셀 농제 삼버 심지에 디기세디 아주 심지에 디기트베세디 지다 삼베트비아 지야리 류나게 투비아야리 이게 투비아야리 나는 저기 이게 투비아디 개침비임버리 샘삼부지야디 아니 아니 류나기 간두지도 강에 테니 류나기지 투비아고 뒤주유나 두부르바 디메베 바레니스네 샘기 지기 잠바다 니지 구미야디 제치쇼임버리 추시야디 나 샘르 토네야지 두구구야리 추시야디 샘르 때니 치쥐바게 추스르야 추임베 켜봐야 말이 구릉님 바지제니 아니 류나게 쥐바디 지 라차부지야티네 mambu야리 두스 추스 두기야 말이 가르스네 추세야디 심기 토네 지구야리 어디에서 다디지기도 다디샤.
So with this opening, right? So whatever you do, it's a virtuous actions. It's a virtuous actions. Even you are drinking a water or having a meals. So just feel that in order to help others, I need to sustain. And in order to sustain this, I'm having these meals, right? So then that's really, it counts with your motivations. You work, right? It's important to pay the bills. It's important to pay the bills as a human being, right? And then in your work you interact with others, never lose the sense of being a human, kind-hearted. You right? That's the actions. So when you sleep, you need to nourish this body, right? Sleep is an important element to help others. You need to sustain this. So really, like whatever we do with this mindset, right? Then with the mindset, then whatever we do, we can do in a virtuous way. Now the most important thing is with this, to be a kind-hearted person at the mental level. Wherever we go, we can do it. Whenever, right? There's no constraint in terms of the time, place, no other conditions. It's really like a whether or not you want to do this or not. It's really up to you. There's no other conditionals. You are not dependent on any other conditions. To be a kind-hearted, one can simply cultivate it at the mental level, and that is the most important thing. when one have this at the mental level firm and healthy, then gradually it express from the verbal and the physical levels. And if one can have the resources and ability to express through verbally and physically, then of course very good, one should do it. But the most important thing first, to build it firm and healthy foundation at the mental levels. That's very important. Otherwise, if there is a contaminated at the mental level, then verbal level and physical level, it can become very superficial, right? Some person can be physically very humble, very nice, speaks all those sugar-coated words and expressions, right? So can all those actions be a virtue? I doubt it, right? Because it's really like from the mind. So therefore, your mind is the innermost important, right? The mind is the most important thing. Therefore, training should start from the mind, to be more compassionate, to be more warm-hearted persons at the mental levels. Starts from the mind. That's very important.
Oh, that is.
Listen, now with this, we will end here today's session. Yes. Yes. Questions? Yes, Angela.
They say this precious human life is received one time. What does that mean?
Yes. The tenjonye jora.
Yeah.
Tenjoy tante tenjo tobe jora.
네.
The lemons 직삼res. And the tanda 가르친거라서.
말이 야부체는 지금 뒤때도 지 최전에 지 최지기에는 아니 된저디 규마체도 내야리 상기 맛도 봐도 된저디 아니 두세 내야 친구로 봐.
그래서
디 마체비는 니 단다디 렌지 잠신이 베된저디 세야디 디 녜소리 깨야기 주주를 삼을 당기나 나는 저디 렌지 소리 지임버리 지 녜소리 깨야디 깨본 분라 만보러 붙지 내국이야리 계속나 다들 나랑 저 시기때 제바디 깨지 잠접지 멜류리 깨바디 로자데니 아니 깨지 잠그 소리 지임버리 렌지 잠 깨지 지 니베 소리지 다나 렌지 잠 세야디더니 나르만부터 많이 봐 마음반에 지기 야부치 제선에 된저 규미체도 줘야야리 이 마제비는 되니 다른데 되니 슈레와 제메 버리지 저기 알아 봐
그 규조 드벨레 베카카 규조 드베데 규조 드베데 신도 가와라
네 니 가와세야 되다 그 규조 드베디 수dim 순가와 제소 주라 소바도 술에 롱가와 대대 그 규조들에 수디 남바도 시에서 물람 테마메 참자 진소 그 조제베지 구구야르바 디 신도니 가바르 자산 렌지 점세디 다리 렌지 점세디 녀송그네리 게야 삼르타네타 녀송그네레 만부 게바르바 간주 다레티 멜리토바티 렌지 점무서지레비제
So now in general speaking, so when they say it's once, the taking precious, having this precious human being is like once. because if you look in general speaking, if you look in the more holistic picture, as a Buddhist, we believe into life afters. So compared to how many times we have taken birth in lower migration, compare to the lower migration, then if we put in the ratio aspect, it's just once. Another point here is it's a once because the causes and condition to have a human being is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. So today, miraculously, it happened as if like miraculously we achieved once. Because if you look at the causes and condition for human being, one must uphold the pure moralities. Then complement with the giving and the six perfections. It's not perfection. Giving, one have not perfected, but all the six, giving and so forth, those must be complemented. Then conjoined with the stainless dedications. So if we look at each of those causes and conditions, extremely difficult, because we can see in this very first-hand experience how difficult it is now to uphold the pure moralities, how difficult it is to exercise a pure giving without stainless. Right? So if we look at those areas, then we can conclude that extremely difficult. How I did this in the past, as if like something like that. So miraculously we achieved once. Therefore, we must not waste it, rather to take the essence. Now, another point here is, if we keep creating the similar conditions, then it's not once. We will have many. Assumption is if we able to accumulate. Therefore, we emphasize on the taking the essence from this precious human being now, precious human body now, right? Because we keep creating a similar conditions, and it will not only have a precious human body, but better, and for the best, being emancipated from samsara, and for the best to achieve Buddhahood for all beings. So we map out in that manner. So why it is a once? Because the causes and condition is difficult.
Yeah, that in it.
So other questions? Yes.
I was just wondering what kind of special prayers or actions one can take to create a more positive country and world at this time with all the situations that are at hand recently in the last, particularly 18 months.
The kada dawa job yes ringal ane nganzo Jacob da ji cheta Jacob ji zamling la thanda neji this job yungudus and the song zane khonje chik tela shabdan ron the damba khar pena damba doyan da ani nyamle khar chebine penche yoras.
That is Janju Semrabdine Kumna. Gangetus Tadi Janju Semrabdine Kum. Ani Notatus Gange Mambuchiarva Gangetus Tonachi Maronyampa Chambarabdinde, Nijirabdinde Kum. The Gangenal Chute Papa to Mevayarva. To Sugange the Tenachi Marunyamba. They pump the papa to Mavayari. Maranzu Karesure, Ani Manga to Sinala Dugin and Yamta, but Simjapat Mavatuga to Su Tunget the Tenachimaros. Teach and Bethany, Mandugi, Madu Nal Chuni, Gange Pad Mebate, Nanzu Neju Sangunal Hagurva, Pad Mebayar, Tosu Gange the Tenachimaru Summer. Devadan and Chimaru Sambarabate, Tikumnata, Yasho de Timbri. Jay Tiku Tigi Ani Tati Janju Simta, Jampa the Injitiku, the Gange part of a teaching better. Yarbatini Any Marantu Kangal or Gange not to the Janja River in Yarabte Gangenal Matsunyet Mevery Paju Rochi Jinetus Devachin de Gange Medevicenici. Dindek Janja River, what is it? And to stand some Dani, Gange the Tenechimaru, Devadan and Chimaru, Sambachi Jambata, and the Janju Sim company. The pain should the is.
Yes, so the best we can do now is to just again meditation on loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. So those are the very important aspects of our practice to help and heal oneself, community, and globally, to truly wishing all beings always abide in the state of happiness and fulfill its causes and condition of happiness, and truly wishing no sentient being experience a suffering, may they free from a suffering and fulfill its causes and condition which can free from its or their sufferings. And truly, just not just saying those words, rather truly mean it in our thoughts, in our deeds, right? And cultivating such a powerful sentiment of loving kindness and compassions. So this is the this is the best way. What we can do now is to healing oneself and the community and the globally. So you have yes, ma'am. Oh, Allah, sorry.
If a person gets some realizations in this life, some Dharma realization in this life, does it continue into the next life, or do we lose it in between?
Yes. That talk this nina sidilla. Sidilla chunyamlen china talk about kevina. And she sooner talk about the nyamdure, chimala sidilla talk about harani with the chimanabo kia yores, chimadilla.
Topati Yeberagina, Nicarasure, Topati Shuki, Chima Tensa Sambutoya de Nevachi Yaris. And it Topati Chis my yen doing some love Sobatin de giant to it, and it did of Gitaji, Topati Mungun to Kuyati Mavicini, Munju at the want to create a cake cheese. Yinea, and if she might gain Chesuna, Yaji, the Tobat to Montague, and it didn't do such Kona competition to be at his.
So, yeah, there are some the realizations we they gain in general speaking, like when we let's say a person gain a realization, and now when that person dies, so when the person gains realization, so not only gains realization, that leaves a very powerful imprint to that mind stream of that person's. At the same time, gaining realization, imprint, a strong imprint, and when that person dies, and when that person conceives into the mother's womb, then all the realizations became inactive. And then that person has a very higher tendency, because of powerful imprints at the time of gaining realization. When the right conditions meet, only small right conditions meet, it can outburst the realizations, and that person can have that in the next life. Yes, ma'am.
What does the Buddha teach regarding where we go between our lives?
Between our lives. I'm sorry, I'm not like a between the lives, like a
between incarnations.
Between incarnations. Okay, this life to the next life, in between.
Yes.
Like intermediate state. Okay, where we go. Tanda the music, tanda nganzo se gewa shini gewa saba mane pardo ne di kawa dure lasta.
Yeah. Pardo de 제다 그 슈마 밀기기는 미 바돌을 기그리스 밀기야지 중수나 다게야지 레지 제 밀기니 겨니니 지나 아니 바도디 미 바도치로 그리스 양것이 바도디 녀송 루약 바도 좀네 야디 최 제발을 때니 아니 지 최야부치 제발을 때니 진주 진역이 진지라부 틴데 손을 때니 바도 냐완 루약 바도 뒤도네 미 바도를 파치 미 제발을 야틴데 야리스 지다
So we call that like a pardo, in English translated as a intermediate state. When we die, we go through first juncture is the intermediate state, and that intermediate state is dependent upon the what kind of rebirth it will take, right? So the form of that intermediate state is the replica of that rebirth. So for example, person died, and that person has enough fortune to be born as a human. Then the intermediate state in the form of a human. But he goes through a death to intermediate and intermediate to rebirth. But what kind of intermediate it will be is determined by what kind of the rebirth. Let's put another example. A person died, then the person is going to be take as a lower migration, let's say elephant, right? But the relatives of that person engage in the positive deeds on behalf of that person. The immediate family really performs the positive virtuous actions on behalf of that intermediate, that person, deceased person. That because of the karmic connection, it could change the state of intermediate and be born as a human. So it means we are underlying the message that the state of intermediate is not certain. It can change. But to be answer your question, where we go in between, we call a pardo. So it's literally it means in between. Yeah.
Does the bardo body have a location? The bardo body is a location or place?
Okay. The pardo kinne kawayo resa.
Yeah. Pardo kinne losuya maris. Maranzu jidin kamdine mi ne pardo ne losuya maris. Pardo di yundam demji kokbe zala soba dusu meba insa lung ka jeni ku doya meba jeni rundu baraba je degi yaris ane ne yaba yamara tsamda badu ne di jigi samba gowa la dinyarbu yaa kangba na la dinyarbu ku ne losu yamari ne di yesi yamari.
So there's no any specific locations, like because Pardo is only the Pardo is the state of Pardo is in the subtle conscious, subtle wind. So therefore there is no like a physical location. It always like it can travel. It just there's no like a there's no that there's no it's a it can penetrate anything. There is no specific location. It just goes everywhere.
Shindu tawe lui jire diyares. Shindu tawe lui isa ko di nesa ji kangbarab ji gugu yamare kabayi ne ji detuya jiyares.
Yes, sir. So Pardo is a very subtle body, comes out of like a very subtle wind. So therefore it doesn't require any physical location. It can travel anywhere.
The Buddhist do namla pirtanya Buddhist.
Like just you see like just like the flies, they just go everywhere. So Pardos can go. Yes, can go. Yeah.
Can I follow up on that? How does the Bardo being travel to other planets and other universes?
Yes, the Pardo the zamning shen like this jen dur be don't kandas dur as la.
Zamni shele zamni shele that rosigi yudo patu thiyadi ku thoba megari kurang guban rosamne delle le tingijire ku padu luiti da kurang semni buti jibarabji nganjugi semde canal rosambe semde tandu canal semde canal titu ti luiti rotuya marwa semde canal le deres canal samla dansri canal sam dandu yeli canal ronyo chi ne canal sam kan semde pigele dere luiti le tuya bare ta padu se ati ko samla danse de ko batanse ne te le tuya re tini jiden kam shendu drosi gere.
Yeah, so it's very possible they can go to another world systems, but it can, right, depending on the karmic formations. But now, so in terms of the travels, Pardus can it's a contemporary speaking, it's faster than the speed of the light. so for here, remember what Rinpoche said here is like, for example, a person been to China, then okay. The person, as soon as that person think of China, that specific location, mind is it reached there, but the body left behind, right? And what we can do now, Pardo, unlike us, as Pardo, as soon as think of that particular location, it gets there physically. It's just very fast, is Pardo. So that's how Pardo travels, right? Just.
Badu te tosa de nier maike. Niena ji rang le masabe lege do menye mai ngel do thuya mare thosade ne ji doji den si yar butin de ne karasure tinde ne kyabachen tinde do mature mishiji ne shi kwain do thunyi jire.
Yes, sir. So in the text says the only two places that could obscure or that could obstruct, that could block the Pardo. So only two possible things that could block the Pardo. Otherwise, Pardo can penetrate, get there right way, right? So those two are, first one is like it's called like a mother's womb, who have this karmic formations to be harbored as a base for its a rebirth, and as soon as Pardo meets that parents, right, and that could block and right there at the mother's womb, and then it harbor then it's like then it started to and form the baby, right? That's the one. Another one is the Vajra cushion. So that's so yeah. So only those two. Well, what's that? What was the other second one?
Yeah, that's
so like now we have run out of the time. So it's a Vajra cushions. Vajra, it's called like a. One way to interpret is the like at the hell beings. At the hell beings. Okay. Now, so is that right? That's complete your. Okay, so we end here because run out of time.
Sanje Shindu Mite Biwaye, Drogan Namda Shin La Juba, Yedamang Guru Rana Mendelania, Chanju Simjo Rinpoche, Maje Panamiki Juji, Jebanyan Bameva, Hondo Pe, Sho Garira, Kove Shingam, Penda Dewa Madu Juene. Yes,
to bring blessings of the enlightenment to the spread the textual and inner realizations teachings of the Buddhas, embodies the 10 powers. You show the light of logic and teachings to the intelligent minds. I pray to the spiritual friend, the revealer of the path, please firmly remain.